Hi everyone, welcome to Sage's Garage. Finally, I have another triumph video for you guys. We are back after there being no oil pressure, and I ended up ordering a bunch of new parts. I told you guys about that in the last video, so we've gotten them. We're ready to put it all together, but before we put in the new parts, we want to test it out because I read a lot of your comments. They were really helpful, and basically we're going to do one more test. We changed a couple things. So one important thing to note. In the video, it may have seemed, based on editing, that we were spinning the drill the wrong way the entire time. We only spun the drill clockwise for probably about 10 seconds, and then for the rest of the time we were testing it, we were spinning it counterclockwise, but thank you all for letting me know to double check that. We do have two oil pressure gauges right now. We do have one in that spot that we had before, but we also have one much lower. I will show you guys a good clip of where it is on the engine, but that way we can compare the two. We can see if the lower one is getting good pressure and then the top one isn't, because a lot of you mentioned that there isn't a lot of pressure near the top of the head. So we'll test that out and we will compare. Our oil is no longer aerated, so we poured that in. We know we have more than enough in there, so we're gonna do that. Also, initially when we put in the oil pump, we did put a bit of grease on it, so that helped. A few of you mentioned Vaseline, but we did put grease. Not sure if I included that once we did that assembly. Anyways, we're just gonna get right to it. Today is just gonna be figuring this out and testing it out, and probably not a lot of me talking. So anyways, we're gonna go ahead and test this. Hopefully it just works perfectly this time. All right, so I've got the one gauge up here. You can see where it is attached, same place as last time. But then I've got another gauge here, and I've got it connected right down here. So fingers crossed, they both get pressure.
Okay, ready for the moment of truth?
So ready.
We're spinning backwards.
Oh my God. What does that mean? Wait, let's see the other one.
The pressure there, but we don't
Can I don't want to block you, sorry. Okay. Oh, do we want to take off this head?
You can.
See? I'll do that. Okay, we are very excited that we got oil pressure. I did post a little short for you guys to see in the moment, so hopefully you guys saw that and are very excited that we actually do have oil pressure. So instead of putting in the new oil pump and all the new parts, we are just going to continue as is because it's going to work, it's going to be good, and the amount of time it would take to take everything apart for literally no reason at this point just didn't make sense, especially since we're in such a time crunch for British Car Day. So we moved on to working on the distributor. We made sure everything was aligned properly. We got our gasket, we measured the thickness, and we made sure the gasket was 5 thou. And this is us putting the distributor on. So we've got that drive gear down there. We've got our gasket, which one of you guys sent me, and I really, really appreciate. So we've already assembled everything and made sure that it was lined up correctly. We've gone through and double checked it. And now it's time to put it all together. And this is our full assembly of it. Now, obviously we are not taking it apart and doing all this stuff, but it is really good to see. And we did double check everything, made sure everything was in working condition. Now, I don't know if you remember, but when we first got this engine, we were trying to get it running and we actually melted some of the points. I've got them here for you. And yeah, as you can see, we really melted them there. So I did order all new parts for that whole section of the distributor. So we'll go ahead and put those on as well. So we've got it all assembled in here. And I'm really thankful that I was sent the gasket for this because otherwise I wouldn't have had it. It didn't come in the gasket kit, and the one that I was sent was exactly 5 thou, which is what we needed. So I'm very grateful for that. We've got our new points in for the distributor because, as you guys know, we melted the other ones. And now we are just first of all making sure it's aligned correctly, and then also checking the distance. We're starting with 16 thou. We want it to be between 14 and 16. So we're gonna hope that that's what it is. We ended up painting both of my manifolds and they are looking really nice, so it's all coming together. Hello, sorry for this crazy bright light, but at least you can see me. It is the next day. So yesterday we finished off by putting the distributor in place. We got all the parts together. We did have a bit of an issue, so we did buy new points and a few different new elements for the distributor, but unfortunately the new points don't seem like they're gonna work, which is really sad because I literally bought new ones. But basically, there was like plastic where there should have been metal, meaning that there could be no connectivity. Hopefully I can get some better clips of that and explain to you what happened, but we ended up ordering more new parts as well as a distributor cap because it looked like mine was really burnt inside, probably from when we melted everything. So, really frustrating, sad that I had to buy new parts already. I just got new parts. But I mean, if it had to be done, it had to be done, you know what I mean? Anyways, right now, this is gonna be probably the biggest thing that's happened on this channel in a very long time. So I need you to get really excited for this, okay? Because not only do you get to finally see the actual car again, we're actually with the car, we are putting the car on a trailer and we are bringing it to Dan's shop, RT Automotive in Leamington, and we're gonna be able to drop the engine in very, very soon. Now, this is the most insane thing. I did not think I would be saying this today or anytime soon, but this is huge because we need this to be happening in order for me to get the car to the show. So, very exciting. You guys finally get to see the car again. I know it's been a long time since I included it in any of my videos, but it's back. The car's back in the videos, which is really, really exciting. And hopefully the engine will be in the next couple days. I know that's kind of crazy to say, but I'm very excited. So yeah, Dan is on his way. He's gonna bring a trailer here and a truck, and we're gonna bring this bad boy to the shop. Because it's been so long, here is a little overview to what the whole engine bay is looking like. Pretty sparse, pretty empty. But yeah, I mean, there's so much that we don't know about for this. Like, we don't know if there's other issues. So this is definitely going to be a crazy next week, trying to just figure out what stuff needs to be fixed and all that stuff. But yeah, I've cleaned it out as best as I could. This is all just rust, unfortunately, and bare metal. But it is clean in here. I did my very, very best. All right, guys, we're bringing her out. Oh man, she is dirty.
You're gonna push
Ready?
as hard as you've ever pushed in your life.
Yeah.
This thing is so light.
Yeah, it's so light.
I thought he was slipping.
Good?
Okay.
You sure until we flatten it out?
The thumbnail of me just holding the car up the ramp.
You hold
Wait,
it.
go ahead.
Coffee break.
Wait, yeah, you put the weakest person pushing it the literal back.
Just get on here as well with me.
Back here?
Yeah, just.
It's gonna crush you.
Okay, go.
Oh god, I slipped.
What's that?
No, I slipped. I almost fell.
That was the old man in the morning sound he just heard. That would be funny.
She's on the trailer and she's ready to go, so let's take her to Dan's. A little fun fact for you. So this day, right after we loaded the Triumph onto the trailer, I actually had to go to work. So almost everything else you see in this video is just Dan and my dad hard at work, and I truly appreciate that. I wasn't even able to be there because I was at work trying to make money to pay for the repairs on this guy and all this stuff, that they actually took the time without me even being there to work on this, and it's insane how much they got done, and truly I just appreciate their time and effort so much. But anyways, now let me explain to you what's going on here. So basically, they started off with doing some cleaning. Like I said, I cleaned it the best I could, but again, it's been sitting, so it needed another cleaning. They went ahead and pressure washed it and all that good stuff. But they did actually notice a lot of damage from rust on the body, and unfortunately I am going to need some pretty serious body work. There are some insane holes that are not supposed to be there because of rust. Clearly I'm cursed with rust, okay? This one and my Beetle, they're having a battle for which one is going to crumble first, and genuinely I don't know who's going to win. It's a tight race at this point. But anyways, we're not going to do the body work now because the point is I need to get this car to British Car Day, which is very soon. But this is going to be the next thing on my list after the car show, is dealing with this body work because it is pretty severe. What they decided to do is go ahead and prime and paint it. That way it stops it from rusting anymore before I can get to that body work, because who knows how long that is actually going to take me to do properly and figure that all out. I mean, what I even have to do for that. So basically what you're going to see here is them going ahead and priming everything and then painting it. And I believe it's with some sort of like rust protect paint and like high heat or something like that. Again, I wasn't there, so I don't know exactly what they used, but I know that the main purpose was to protect from more rusting. But also, it makes it look way nicer. Just wait until you see the finished product. It makes a huge difference. Everything just looks cleaner and so much nicer in the engine bay. So anyways, enjoy the rest of this painting process. After all the paint was dry, they decided to look at the clutch slave cylinder. And basically, from what they explained to me, what I can understand is that it was not pushing down at all. Like, the clutch slave cylinder wasn't working at all. And what they think happened is, at one point, since the car has been sitting, somebody pressed the clutch, which is absolutely possible when we were moving it one time. Anything, right? It's definitely possible that one of us pressed the clutch. And that basically pushed the slave cylinder too far past where it's supposed to go, because the car wasn't on, so it wasn't able to engage and stop it from pushing all the way through. So it seems like a part of it pushed all the way through and now it's completely stuck there. I think it sounds like we're going to be able to repair it. Either I can buy a brand new one, which I think is like over $100, or I can get a repair kit, which I think is around $20. And I think it seems, they said it seems repairable. So I think that's the route we're going to go down. I don't know what they ended up deciding 100%, but I think what we're going to do is repair the clutch slave cylinder and then all should be good. But yeah, that's all I know about that right now. Unfortunately, I don't have any audio from this day, so I don't know what they were talking about, but that's okay. You get the gist of what's going on, I think. Their next step was to install both the intake and the exhaust manifolds, and they look so good. I'm so happy with how they turned out and how we decided to paint them. I feel like it really ties everything together, and I just love it. I think in the end, I actually did pick all the perfect colors, and it's honestly exactly what I wanted. It's not what I thought I wanted, but it turned out pretty nice, even though it's not a pink engine. I'm actually pretty happy with it, I can't lie. Although I do want to lie, but I won't. Looking at the clutch slave cylinder earlier, they decided the best thing to do would be to remove it and see if they could really figure out what was going on with it. So there was one main bolt to undo to get it out, and they were able to undo it and remove the whole thing. There was a solid line that was connecting the master cylinder to the slave cylinder, and it was tie strapped to other wires in the engine bay. So to be able to better get at the clutch slave cylinder, they loosened that solid line, and that way they could bend and manipulate the metal line, and then they would be able to remove the slave cylinder. Once they had removed it from the engine bay, they could tell that it was definitely seized, and what they thought had happened did happen, where basically the clutch was pressed and the fluid couldn't push through it, and then basically it seized up, but then also it had bottomed out like they thought. So once they realized it wasn't working, Dan went ahead and took all the gaskets off to see if there was internal damage and to check the seals, and it turns out, as you can see, there was loads of gunk in there that is super gross. And what we're guessing happened is, since this is from the old engine that blew, it was probably spewing oil everywhere, and that probably dried up and clogged the whole thing. So yeah, you can see it was pretty gross in there. They decided that even though it looked gross, it was definitely repairable, so they went ahead and cleaned it really well. They checked out all the parts of it, and I think they even honed it and made sure there was no burrs or anything like that. And then they were actually able to put it back together. It was functioning properly. They double checked it, and then they were actually able to put it back into the engine bay. So thankfully, it actually sounds like different from what I thought at the beginning of this video. I don't have to buy a new one, and I don't have to buy a repair kit. They repaired it on their own, and it sounds like it is back to brand new, which is super exciting. Hi everyone. I am so happy with everything that we've gotten done recently. Even this video was such a huge improvement, and I'll tell you a little secret, some even more exciting things have happened since the filming of this. I'm hoping to get a bunch of videos out to you guys before British Car Day, which is really sneaking up on us, but I'll just tell you, I'm having a really good feeling about my car being there. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!